Let's see, is my stream working? I'm testing out some new hardware here, folks. Bear with me if I'm live. This is kind of an unannounced stream. Yeah, I guess I am live. Let's rename this stream here real quick. Unannounced live stream. Unannounced live stream. Testing out some new hardware. Okay, so all right. How do I see you guys? Sorry, folks. Just getting my bearings here. I believe I need to go to a different page to see any comments or anything like that. So let's check that out. One moment. Go ahead and start. If you see the chat and you want to participate or whatever, or ask anything, feel free to do so, and I will see it when I get logged in here. Folks, this is really just experimental because I'm just doing a test of some equipment here and stuff. So yeah, I don't know how to interact with everybody on the stream. This is weird. I may have to stop this and then start it again, because I obviously don't know what I'm doing in terms of live streaming. How do I access my stream? This is so weird. Here we go. All right, I'm there now, folks. All right, three of you are watching. Sorry it took me so long. The thing that's weird is I'm using the software called OBS, which is a separate app that kind of ties into YouTube, but I don't know which window to look at. How's it going, everybody? All right. How does my feed look? Can someone let me know? Like, is the frame rate good, or is it dropping frames? It should be like 60 frames a second, 1080p. But I guess it depends on bandwidth. Yeah, this is weird. Let's see what happens if I play it here. Oh no, I don't want to do that. If I play it on the YouTube, then I get some delay. BNGR. Let's see. You're looking for a slim mechanical keyboard. Slim? Probably one of the slimmest ones that I have seen is actually made by Logitech. And let me see if I can find a link for you. Logitech makes one, I can't remember the name of it now. MX Mechanical. I think it's called Logitech MX Mechanical. Let me do a quick search for it. That one is supposed to be pretty good, actually. It's pretty new, and it is pretty slim. So that's one of the few slim ones. They make two different versions, one with a numpad and one without. So you might want to check that out. Let me see if I can find that. Logitech MX Mechanical. Yeah, this looks like it right here. Now, if I was a better streamer, I'd be able to put this. I would actually have a screenshot of my actual screen and be able to put that in the stream. But I'm not that advanced yet. I don't know how to do it. So anyway, yeah, just search for like Logitech MX Mechanical or Logitech Mechanical Keyboard. I think it's even backlit too, which is kind of cool. So check that out. Thanks for letting me know the video looks good and the audio sounds pretty good. Yeah, I'm using this microphone here. Hopefully the audio you're hearing is through this microphone. Let me tap it real quick and see. Yeah, I think it is. So this is the Electro-Voice RE20 microphone, and hopefully the levels are okay. It looks like it should be pretty loud in terms of what I'm seeing on screen. And then the camera I'm using is a new webcam that I recently got. It's called the Elgato Face Cam. Specifically, it's made for streaming, and it's supposed to maintain that 1080, 60 frames a second for streaming, which is supposed to be really good. The prior webcam I was using before was a Logitech, which pretty much really kind of sucks for streaming because the frame rate on it is really low, and so the quality tends to get pretty bad. So I'm just testing this out. This is supposed to have like a really good Sony lens in it, and it's got it's got a nice glass lens on it and stuff like that. So it's supposed to be pretty good quality for streaming. I do wish I could actually blur out the background a little bit more. Apparently, Elgato has released some software for the PC called what's it called, Camera Hub, but they don't have the update. They have an update that actually enables you to blur out the background kind of digitally with that, but they don't have the update for Mac yet, and I'm on Mac, so unfortunately, I don't have that yet. Thanks to everyone who's joining in. I know this was kind of unannounced, but if you're just finding it popping up on your feed and decided to join, thanks for joining. Let's see. Somebody asks, I want to buy headphones. I thought of buying the Hi-Fi Man Edition XS, but I saw so many good reviews on the Aria. I'm really confused. Yeah, it's kind of tough. I mean, technically, some of the other headphones that are higher priced than the Hi-Fi Man Aria are technically supposed to be better in terms of what Hi-Fi Man tells you. But I think the Aria, as I said in my review, really does punch above its price point. So it'd be best if you can find a place or find somewhere where you can actually take a listen to them. And I know that's hard to do, but I think for the money, the Aria can't really be beat. I think it's a great headphone. And, some of the higher end headphones I have actually heard at various shows and stuff, like the HE1000 series, they sound really great, but they don't sound as resolving. They're a little bit darker sound, which is a nice sound. I mean, it's very pleasant, but they're a little bit of a darker sound. So in that respect, they're maybe not as resolving. And in that respect, they do sound really good. And actually, I kind of prefer a darker sound signature generally, but I do find the Aria is very resolving, and I just kind of EQ down some of the highs a little bit, and I'm able to get a sound that I like right out of them. So that's kind of nice. What amp do I use to drive the Aria? Currently, I'm using the Chord Hugo TT2, and I'm just using that out of the single-ended mode outputs, and that outputs something like 7.5 watts around there, maybe 7.2 watts, which is plenty for the Arias. That's quite a bit. So that is what I'm using. Is anyone familiar with the OBS streaming software? The OBS streaming software, I think, is what pretty much the industry standard, what everyone uses for streaming. But I'm still learning and ramping up on it. I would like to be able to add a second, like superimpose a second screen, like right here, and be able to show my browser, like when I'm showing on, like maybe show different articles and stuff on screen. And quite honestly, I haven't figured out how to do that yet. I find the OBS software kind of confusing, which is interesting. I find it interesting, but it's kind of confusing. And what I'll probably do after this stream is done is I'll let the stream video go to my channel, and then people can also comment if they have any hints and tips for me in terms of streaming. Yeah, OBS is a great software. Yeah, it seems very powerful. Seems like it has a lot of features. I just don't know how to use it. That's my problem. I see, like, what I would like to do is be able to display the chat on the video like I see some people do. And then I would also like to, like I said, have a separate little window, like right here, where I could browse to certain sites, discuss certain articles and things like that. But I eventually will probably get there once I figure out all this streaming stuff. I'm such a newbie at it. All right, looking back into the chat, Jerry asks, would you consider doing a video on polishing your Cordovan Aldens, and how do you use a Deerbone? I think I've actually done a Deerbone video in the past many years ago in my channel, so maybe check that. But maybe I can do an update video. I haven't actually done many Alden shoe videos lately just because I haven't really got any new ones in, and I haven't actually been wearing them that much now that I'm kind of like working from home, and I just don't have an opportunity to wear them that much, since pandemic. And also, they don't look any different. Like they look pretty much brand new still. So, like a lot of people have said, hey, can you do an update video on some of your Alden shoes? But they don't look any different. So they look the same as like when they were brand new. So that's why I haven't done that. Excuse me. But yeah, Jerry, let me know if you don't find that. And I could do, I'm definitely into taking requests for videos, and, I could do another video on that. Shining, the shell cordovan with a Deerbone. Matt says, yeah, it's a bit of a learning curve with OBS, but not too hard. Yeah, it was kind of a learning curve just to even get these different inputs set up. Like I just didn't know what I was doing, and I didn't. I'm not the kind of person that goes online and reads a lot of stuff about it. I just kind of like dive right in. So yeah, it took me a while to figure out that, oh yeah, I have to add a video source, set that up. Then I have to add an audio source, set that up. Then I have to get like a streaming key from YouTube and put that in OBS, and all that kind of stuff, and kind of get that all set up. So that's where I'm at right now. And I think I've got it at least where the video looks pretty good in terms of my lighting, hopefully. And then my audio level looks good. I've tried streams before where I was just using like the webcam microphone, and that audio pretty much sucked. I mean, it was so bad. So I just kind of gave up after doing that. But now that I've got this set up, I'm a little bit more comfortable, I think, that I'm going to sound halfway decent and look halfway decent too with this new face cam. So maybe I'll do some more streaming as I get into it. And I kind of might, when I do live streams, I kind of might want to do like some topical topics, like news topics. For instance, the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial. Talk about some kind of like topics like that, and just sort of voice my opinions on certain things. Talk about different news articles or funny things that I see. Totally unrelated to a lot of the stuff I talk about in my channel, but I figure a live stream is just more of a chat, more of a conversation. So that's kind of something that interests me. That might be kind of cool. Let's see. Any more questions here? Matt says, yeah, you enjoyed an old video I did showing my home theater system. Any new updates there? Not really, actually. I still have that system. Same Panasonic plasma television. I don't know if that's what I had in that old video. In terms of audio, I have the B&W speakers. So I have a 5.1 surround system with all B&W speakers. Actually, a lot of times these days I'm watching a lot of content on my iPad Pro, my 12.9 inch iPad Pro, like when I do like Netflix streaming or stuff like that. But I will also sometimes use the big TV, and I have an Apple TV 4K. And, if I want to watch it on the big screen, my TV is not actually 4K, but surprisingly, the plasma TV, even when you're feeding it like the Apple 4K TV signal, looks better than 1080p. The Apple TV is doing some kind of magic there, which is really good. So I've also read that if you don't need a 4K TV if you're sitting a certain distance back, like it's only if you're sitting kind of close to the TV that you really notice the difference between 4K and 1080. So I haven't got a new TV. I just haven't bothered with it because it still looks so good. So that's kind of that situation there. Let's see. I'm going to just check on the comments here and check on some mail. Just keeping it really casual here. Nothing major to say or anything. Okay, so yeah, I do see that YouTube sends out a notification to a lot of subscribers saying that I'm live, so that's kind of interesting. And that's pretty cool. There's only 2 of you here right now, so I guess a lot of people are probably not seeing this, or it's not really the ideal time actually to do a live stream. People are probably eating dinner, watching TV, whatever. They're not on their computer or their phones wanting to watch a live stream. So I guess I'll probably end this pretty soon. I am kind of curious to have it process on YouTube and see how it's going to look and sound, because I just don't want to like leave something on my channel that's got like really bad quality. You can actually see some of my other live streams. The quality was like kind of bad, so I kind of struggled with that. Any other questions maybe before we wrap it up for this one? I think the next one I'll try to schedule so that people can tune in. They'll get a notification like, oh, I'm going live at a certain time, and then if they want, they can actually tune in and like schedule it. Whereas just doing an unannounced stream is kind of hard for people to actually tune in because it's just so random. Let's see. Jerry asks, ever think about taking a trip into the city and going to the Leica store? Any new lenses I'm thinking about buying? Yeah, the Leica store in San Francisco is actually pretty cool. I have actually been there before. That actually might be a good idea for a video. It's a pretty nice store and nice to browse. They have like a whole wall of like old Leicas and stuff like that that you can browse that are actually maybe even for sale. It's kind of like almost like a museum. But in terms of lenses, I'm thinking about buying. I don't really have any. Well, I kind of have one that I want that I can't really afford. It's the Leica 35 millimeter APO lens. That lens is something like $8,000 or something, $8,295 or something like that. It's insanely expensive, but that lens is really awesome because it has a very close focus, and it has the APO, you know, as well. So that's an awesome lens, but I can't really justify the price. The 35 millimeter lens that I have right now is a Voigtlander f.2, which is really pretty good, and that lens was only like a few $100s. So it's really hard to justify a very expensive lens like that. And M11 video coming soon. No, I did a couple of videos talking about the M11 when it was announced and why I'm not really getting it. I'm very happy with my M10R black paint right now, so I'm not actually getting the M11. Let's see. Robert asks, what do I use to feed my Cord M scaler? I use USB. I use a Mac, just right into the USB, and that's what I use right now. It works great for me, and I have found using the M scaler really does prime the USB really well. The M scaler is it just sounds awesome. So no complaints with that setup at all. And then sometimes what I'll do is if I want to like be further away from the setup from the Cord Hugo TT2, I just have a long headphone extension cord, and I'll plug that in, and I can like listen farther away if I want. The other thing is I use Roon, so I can run Roon on the Mac, and then if I want to like listen wirelessly in a whole nother room using like my iPhone and like the Cord Mojo or something like that, I can do that and just be anywhere in the condo and listening to my music that way as well. So I do that sometimes as well. And sometimes I even just play the AirPods Pro and just on the iPhone, and that's it, and just be wirelessly that way. I think that sounds pretty good too, but it's not lossless. Matt asks, let's see, what are your go-to headphones these days? I just did a review on the Hi-Fi-Man Aria Stealth version, so those are my go-to ones right now. And then I also still have the AudioQuest Night Owl Carbons, which I use sometimes, and I have the Apple AirPods Max over-the-ear, headphones, which I also use when when I'm in a situation where I need some noise canceling, or like there's a lot of noise outside or whatever. Or if I'm watching a movie on like Apple TV or on my iPad, I'll use those because you get the spatial audio when watching movies, which is really awesome. And then I also have the AirPods 3, the in-ears, which are actually really good too. Use those for watching movies and videos and like YouTube and stuff sometimes, and also using the phone, talking on the phone. So those are really nice. I really like those. Robert asks, have I ever looked into the Grand Seiko watches? Not really. I'm pretty happy with my current watch setup right now. I know Grand Seiko is really quite good and everything, but it's kind of hard to look at other brands when you have like high-end brands like Rolex and stuff. Once you have those, it's almost like you don't want to look at lower brands. You know what I mean? It's kind of like if I'm going to wear those, I don't want to look at anything else. It's kind of hard to explain, but that's kind of where I'm at right now with that. Let's see. Oh, President Biden has COVID. I'm just looking at the news. That doesn't surprise me. He's been traveling, I think, to like India or something like that recently. I've been quite lucky. I've been vaccinated and boosted and everything, and I kind of consider myself low risk because I work from home. So I've been very lucky that I haven't had it yet, but I do know people in my family who have had it, and coworkers and friends like that. So keeping my fingers crossed, but it's this new variant is just so easy to get that I don't know, but I'm just so glad that we have the vaccines now. It's just crazy times. All right, well, let's see. Should I wrap it up here for now? I think maybe I will. Thanks for tuning in, everyone who did tune in. And if you're watching this later in my channel, I'd love to hear like what you think the quality of this looks like after YouTube does the processing. Again, it's a new setup, new camera, so and microphone for that matter, and an application as well for streaming. So let me know how it looks and sounds, and I will see you all in my next video. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you soon. Thanks for participating, the people that were here live too. Have a good evening.